We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger, and with me as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
And back in the nerd room, you just can't get rid of him.
Just can't get enough.
Yeah, finally drug him off the couch.
Josh Saintz.
This whole episode, we're just going to talk Batman. The whole frickin' episode. So whatever the nerd play is, play it. Whatever the anime is, watch it. And we're just going to keep talking about Batman.
Awesome.
Before we start moving into people that are our favorite other versions of Batman, I do want to give a little nod to Robin. Because I think that something that Batman also did was he established the idea of a
Sidekick.
Not only a sidekick,
of
but
kidnapping
also,
little boys?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Or girls.
Yes. But
Yeah.
Well, the girl kind of just forced herself on him. But
it's true. But the idea of having a younger protege, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That really hadn't happened, and DC Comics did that to, bring in a younger audience to appeal to them, to have Robin in there. And it happened pretty quickly. It was like the year after. Robin's first appearance was in Detective Comics 38, which is only, 11 issues after Batman showed up. So in 1940. And
wow, so Robin's been around that long.
Yeah, he's pretty much
Dang.
there from the get-go, right? Pretty quickly. And there have been 5 different Robins that are noted, at least as far as Wikipedia, in the comic book world. I'm going to say 6 because of Frank Miller.
Yeah. Well, she changes to Catgirl, though.
Yes, she does eventually. Do you guys want to play a little trivia? Can you guys come up with I'm going to say, instead of 5, let's say 4.
Okay.
Tim
I think
Drake.
one's super, super obscure. Tim Drake, that's one of the 4.
Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Yes, Dick Grayson.
Who's the one that died?
2 more.
Who's the one that died?
Yeah, the one Joker killed him.
No, but I was saying who.
Yeah, who is he?
Oh, come on. That's the plot of Arkham Knight. That's such
Right?
a BS reveal.
It starts with a J. His name starts with a J.
Jason Todd.
Jason
That's right,
Todd.
Jason Todd.
And then there's the current one today,
And I can't
who is
remember.
his actual son.
Oh, that's Damian.
Yeah.
Damian Wayne, right? And then there's an obscure one that's
Batwing.
Stephanie Brown.
Batwing.
Nightwing, you mean?
No, there's a guy named Batwing.
Oh, Batwayne?
Yeah, no, Batwing.
Batwing?
Wang?
Like
No.
wing? Like wing?
My nose is
That's my
a little
Wing
Joker
or Wang?
version.
Wang, yeah.
Batwang? That's the
Giant
porno
dingus.
version?
No, it's
Wow, it's an Asian name.
So it's not a giant
I'll
dingus.
show you guys.
Yeah.
One sec.
Bat Wang is a secret movie pulls out only in...
Yeah, right? Ladies.
Yeah.
He leaves the cowl and cape on for that. Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, Bat Wang.
That's for the Batjet that doesn't have any weapons.
Yeah.
That's where the leather is
reference.
only like assless chaps. And,
Yeah.
anyways.
The other obscure one is Stephanie Brown, which I've never heard of, but apparently she took up the mantle of Robin for a little while. That's Batwang.
Yes, Batwang.
Wang.
That's
It
interesting.
looked like Nightwing. with
And the one
blue.
from
There you
Dark
go.
Knight is
He
Carrie
flies, though.
Kelly.
Yes.
That's who she is, which I totally lump in there as Robin's because I
Well, she
completely
did the
think
Robin
of her.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, who
And
was the Robin from the movie?
What movie?
Which one?
The Dark Knight and Returns.
There wasn't a Robin in those. It ends with Bane, that stupid one.
Well,
with
no,
Bane.
no,
It ends
yeah.
with the guy whose name is Robin.
Oh, that was his name?
That was his real name.
Oh, okay.
I think those movies are dumb. We'll get into that. So anyway, I think he really kind of deserves a nod for that, and also Robin for coming up with the idea of a young sidekick. Which is always in bright colors, which I think is hilarious, right?
Yeah.
You wear this super bright suit. We'll put some blinking lights on it and some noises and streamers.
Have you
and-
ever heard of Distraction?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
then Batman can go
Bait.
and kill everyone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Boom.
So and he's
Robin,
young.
deploy the
He's like
bat
this
bait.
young kid. It's like it's terrible.
Fine. Jumps out of the airplane.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's terrible what he did to them. So let's move into the world of villains. Do you guys have a favorite Batman villain?
Villain overall, Bane.
Really?
I like Bane.
It's not where I thought anybody would go.
Well, okay, so
Yeah, you should put your hand over your mouth and
I can't do the voice.
Yeah.
But no,
you just have to talk
no,
like
just
Sean
Bane overall. 'Cause,
Connery
like,
a little.
I keep going back to as much as I don't care for Hulk, I don't care for all these, but they're the ones I identify with the most. It's just the overpowered Bruce.
Mongoloid,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just like okay, I get that. That's like I like those characters. I see where they're coming from. I see their motivation. I get it.
You relate to them a
I
little
do,
bit? Yeah.
unfortunately.
Quit beating around that bush and just say it.
Yeah, I do. I relate with them. Hulk smash. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I've been there. Except I wish I didn't turn green, and I. Yeah. Anyway. But,
You ever keep buying shorts?
no.
Pants.
Thank
They
God.
turn into shorts.
Yes, that's true. But with ever expanding waistlines, we never figured out how they worked, but they did.
Right?
Once they stretch out, though, they never shrink again. But no, Bane. But I gotta say, my favorite villain in the movie series has got to be the 1989 Joker.
Totally agree. Hands down. Best Joker there is. And again,
I mean, that Joker, even for movies today, holds up well.
yes. Well, and again, I think he makes it as much as you can relate to like this mob kind of overlord guy, like right, like he's not the overlord at that point in the movie, but he becomes that character.
Yeah.
And the way he gets so jaded in that movie as that process goes, he's already a scumbag. Like he's already waiting to stab this guy in the back, right? But the way it happens in that movie just makes him even
I know.
more jaded, and he just doesn't care, right? Like that. I totally agree that the Joker for me is the standout one. Again, I don't think either Batman or the Joker would exist without the other,
Yeah.
right? And
Or continue to exist.
yeah, and I think of the Joker, I think of Jack Nicholson. I just do. He
And
set
don't
the
get me
gold
wrong,
standard.
I love the Christian or the
Heath Ledger.
Heath
Yeah.
Ledger one.
Yep.
I mean, it's such a fresh take on it. It's he owned it. I mean, there's no question he owned that character. It was awesome. I loved watching it, and I love watching it again today. But I went back and watched the 1989, and it's just like, oh.
Which I think, to be fair, is basically a Joker movie. That 89 Batman is, like, it is Batman, but that movie is the origin of the Joker,
Yes.
right? It's not
Totally.
the origin of Batman.
No.
He is also there to facilitate that role, but that movie is about the Joker.
Very much
really
so.
is.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
And I like the one with Heath Ledger. Like, I think Heath Ledger, he does a great job of his interpretation of it. But I'm not as big of a fan of the, like, excessive crazy that he does. Like, I like that the Jack Nicholson version, he becomes more crazy as the movie goes on. But he's not as absurdly crazy in it. Right? Like, he's got...
Joy buzzer.
Like
Yeah,
where,
right.
where he's putting bombs into people and
Yeah, it's
shit,
like
yeah.
he's not as crazy. Like he is a lunatic in it, and he's a completely warped mind.
Yeah.
But he's not as just off the wall crazy as he is, and he just comes across
More
as
level
a psycho
thought.
in the with
Heath
Heath
Ledger.
Ledger, right? He's a little more grounded in the other one.
Yeah, there's more thought
And there's
behind
that
what
more
he's doing.
personal vendetta between the two, right? Never rub another man's rhubarb, right? There's a
Yes.
bat in my belfry, right? Like there's so much personal interaction between the two of them in that movie versus the I already forgot the director's name, whatever his name is.
Chris Nolan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In the Nolan series, it's almost like there's just these new villains that come along that aren't as personally tied to Batman. So I liked it, but it's not as good for me. What do you think?
I kind of go with you guys on that too, as far as the Joker, because Nicholson is just he
he's
can play
amazing.
such a creep, man.
Yeah, he does.
In anything. It's
Yeah.
like if you think
Maybe
Jack
that's it.
Nicholson, you think crazy mofo.
Yeah,
Very true.
maybe it's more
Yeah.
he's creepy as opposed to just psychotic.
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
there's a fine line there for sure.
Yeah.
And they both ride either edge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's either the anger management Nicholson or there's the Joker Nicholson in my mind. If I ever saw him, I'd be like, hey,
I'm going that way.
yeah.
Whatever you want, I'm out. Where is the bat signal? What do you think, Jack? Who's your favorite villain?
It's honestly really hard to decide. I think it's between Joker from the Arkham series, specifically Arkham Knight, when it's just all in your mind after you like. Well, no, it's like that infection that turns you into the Joker, and how it's turning Batman into the Joker. I really like that concept. It was really cool.
I agree. That is really cool during that game.
Yeah, Calendar Man in Batman Arkham City. That's such a dumb name, and I was thinking like when I first heard about it, Calendar Man, how can he be creepy? And you're just listening to him talk about all these stories where he just murders all these people for not the enjoyment of it, but just like, I don't know, like he's just a creepy guy, and then you listen to all of them, you go back again, he's gone, and it's like, oh my god, that's scary. Like, you don't know what he's going to do now that he's loose in Arkham City. After that,
So get to it.
There's so many.
Jared Leto's Joker, right?
No.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm trying to think of I think Clayface is he's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I
I
think he's
really
pretty
like
cool, too.
Bane. I never really got Poison Ivy. The Riddler. I love how arrogant he is. And how,
I
like,
hate about him how arrogant he is.
as
I like that about him, though.
But as Batman, as you solve all his riddles in the games, he gets just angry and bitter.
Yeah.
And he gets more aggressive. I hate his boss fight in Arkham Knight, though. It's so dumb. It made
even-
more sense in Arkham City.
I think even like in the Gotham series, the TV show just Gotham, the
Yeah.
Riddler is my favorite. Like I love watching.
I did like him there.
Yeah, like the way he kind of rises up, and he's so many steps ahead, and he deals with like seeing his own image in the mirror, and like dealing with, I don't want to be this psychotic person, but it's inside me, and I get so much joy out of just messing with people.
Yeah.
Right? And I love that battle that he faces in there. He's totally on my list. As far as the Riddler, that is the Riddler that I think of now.
Yes.
It's like he's replaced any comic book version I've had of him, any video game version.
Well,
I think of the one from Gotham.
Every comic book, every other previous movie or cartoon version I've seen of him, I've not cared for the Riddler.
Yeah.
But yes, no, the Edward Nygma of Gotham series, I do like that a lot.
He's really good. He's my favorite villain in that show. Totally. The other one I think you have to kind of give some tribute to, because again, it's that like the Joker battle is Catwoman,
Yes,
right? It's like
yeah.
Catwoman keeps going back and forth. She always is a villain, but she always rides that line of I'm bad, but not that bad.
yeah.
You know,
it's
it's like-
because she's pulling at the bat heartstrings.
I know.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, he marries her, doesn't he?
messing
The
with it.
bat heartstrings, I
Yeah,
like that
you
one.
like that?
Yeah. Oh, my bat heart. You'll never outsmart my bat brain.
Because everything has to have bat in front of it, because that's
Yes.
the way it works. Yeah. How about
We need bat takeout, Alfred.
yeah, right.
You'll never defeat my bat
Hey,
bats.
Bat Alfred. Yeah. Get my bat suit. Not the one with the cape, the other one. I have somewhere to go be.
That's my bat suit.
Yeah, not the bat suit,
Bat
but the bat
idiot.
suit. Yeah. Yeah.
Bad
You bat
attitude.
buffoon. We got to use as much alliteration as possible.
Oh my god.
So let's, how about comic books? Do you guys have a favorite Batman comic book? Anything that you remember as a kid or anything?
I didn't read any Batman as a kid, really. The Frank Miller one is the first one that you actually Backseat of Your Car, whichever one that was that you had in the compilated series, was the first
Nice.
one I read. That was pretty good. Then you gave me the Frank Miller one, and that was just like the first one that was like, wow, this is Batman. This is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And
I think Frank Miller deserves a lot of credit for reinvigorating the really dark, ominous Batman.
yeah, he
Oh,
does.
yeah,
that-
totally.
Like when Batman first came out in the comic books.
And then they have rocket roller skates. But
Yeah. But when he first came out in the comic books, Batman killed people. Like Batman was super dark and he just killed people. He didn't deal with villains, and that happened for a while, and people actually found it. I'm sure that's between the time of just Batman and when Robin came in, right? To kind of lighten the load a little bit. But he just killed villains. Like he didn't bring him into the police, he just killed them. And a lot of people found that really abrasive. So they found this way to kind of make him a little more lighthearted. And I'm sure Robin had something to do with that. And it really wasn't until Frank Miller did his interpretation again where it really reinvigorated that really dark edge to Batman.
And to be fair, he had quit being Batman at that point in time.
Yeah.
And was basically forced back into it. And he was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So much bat angst.
Oh, I know. He's like, I'm done. I'm back here.
Time for battle.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I like it.
Bet.
That was good.
Oh,
Yeah. I really think Frank Miller deserves a lot of credit for that, though.
yeah. I mean, he is so brutal. He kills like crazy.
Yeah.
And then the War of Jokes and Riddles is what you got me on right now, and that's pretty intense. What's going on there?
I really enjoy that comic. As far as current comics, go get it. Go check it out. Read it. It's still new enough to where I bet it's at the shelf still in the comic shop.
And now, what's the comic that was just a standalone comic, single one?
Oh, the Last Crusade. Dark Knight, The Last Crusade? Is that what you're thinking of?
The one where the Joker kills
Jason?
yeah.
That's a good comic.
And that one there, it's like, okay, Batman's
Death
killing here,
in
too.
the Family, I think. Death in the Family, the old one.
That's the one where, that is the one, the old one where Jason dies, but there's one where McFarlane and Azzarello or something, I can't remember the artist's name, but it's the same people that did The Dark Knight 3. They did this little spin-off one-shot comic called The Dark Knight Returns, The Last Crusade.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
I read that. You lent me that one.
Yeah,
that
it's
one
not...
day.
It's not so much the Jason Todd side of it, but it's more the what happened to Batman
Yeah.
while that was going on.
Yeah, he's like totally weak, getting beat up all the time.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Exactly.
Yeah, really
and like I
depressing.
said there, he totally embraces, I'm going to kill.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to do it. And I was like, wow, this is getting dark.
And that one's cool for people that are interested in checking out Batman comics. That one's really cool because it gives you a little introduction to the Frank Miller feel, and you get some cool art in there. But again, it's a one shot.
Yeah.
Like it's only that one comic. You only have to buy one.
It's not canon.
No, it's worth it. It's like it isn't, but it kind of is, right? It's
Yeah.
from that other perspective of what is canon.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of cool. I really enjoyed that one a lot. The War of Jokes and Riddles. I really have to recommend that to people.
I'm just starting it. I'm like one comic in. Oh, okay. I'm the first comic that officially titled War of Jokes and Riddles.
Okay.
So it's the one that starts it, and then the one that.
That starts that ball. That comic does a really good job of highlighting again how much of Batman is the villains.
Yeah, because like I said, this is the one. It's the one after the one where he's in bed with the Catwoman saying, "And that's what I'm going to tell you about what happened and what I did, what I became in the War of Jokes and Riddles." Yeah,
yeah, and the way that, I mean, I think that comic books always struggle with
yes,
With-
he was there.
with like
Getting some pussycat.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, yeah, some bat pussy. Yeah.
I think we put the D on that one.
Yeah.
Pulls out his batarang.
I,
Ram.
I think when comic books get going, they always struggle.
Batwang.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Or is Wayne his Bat Wayne? Is it just Bat Wayne? That's two. They're gonna figure it out.
Little Bruce.
That's not, yeah, Little Bruce.
Or maybe Big Bruce. Oh, right. Please continue.
Who knows? He
As
probably
long
like,
as he doesn't call it as Robin. It's
probably
fine.
has it in like little rubbers, little bat rubbers in packages
right.
larger than magnums. Says bat size.
Yeah. Awful. It's all awful. It's amazing, but it's awful.
Work it out.
Did you have a comic book there, Josh?
No,
Do
I
you have
haven't.
something valid to actually contribute? To this
Well, that's
part
the
of
thing.
show?
You guys know everything. I'm just here for comic.
Yeah. You're
adages.
good
back
at
to-
it.
okay,
and
back
bat
to-
puns.
You're bat awesome.
Okay, so back to movies then.
I'm pretty bad at
Yeah.
this.
Oh, movies?
Bat
Yeah,
movies.
one more comic. Can I mention
Okay.
one more comic
Sure.
that I do think people should check out? It's really pretty cool. Just starting to dive into it. It's called Batman the White Knight, and it's actually about Batman going too far as a vigilante, and he's just decided that no rules apply to him, and he's going to do whatever the hell he wants, and he's super brutal. He's destroying the city, even like as far as like cops that are in his way. He just almost punches them or runs them over with the Batmobile to get to the villain. It's like he just doesn't care. The only thing he sees in front of him is the objective, and anybody innocent bystander doesn't matter. So it ends up to where in this comic, he's very aggressively going after the Joker, causes all this mayhem, hurts innocent people, and when he does that, he causes the Joker to have this like realization of what's really going on, and so the Joker is the one that starts to come around, and he's at least it's alluding to that the Joker might be the one that brings Batman back. in this
Wow.
series.
From
And it's
going
actually,
batty?
Yeah, right? Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. I wish you had the pom-poms every time. Wouldn't that be awesome? But it's actually cool. It's just like, like flip the script on what we're used to with Batman. And so I really encourage people to check out that one too. And it's like a 8-issue, once a month comic. It's not this big obligation. So it's also worth checking out. Yeah. But yes, movies.
Back to movies. So, okay. So how would you rate what order would you put your Batman in for the movies?
The movies?
Yeah. And we'll split it up, make it Batman and Bruce Wayne's, because they're two distinct characters.
I agree.
And I don't think they all do them justice.
No. What?
Justice League.
Justice League. They don't do them all Justice League. Bat Justice
But
League.
yeah. Bat.
If you don't put the word bat before
League.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Got a justice here.
Yeah. If I'm going to say my gold standard for all Batman, everything as far as movies goes, is 89 Batman.
Keaton.
It
Yeah,
just is.
Keaton.
It's Keaton.
Yep.
I do think he's a little bumbling as far as his Michael Keaton or his Bruce Wayne, right? He has some let's get nuts, right? Like that scene's awesome. That scene's so cool. It's the first time I love, and again, that movie's about the Joker. And in that scene in particular, in that movie, it's when their minds like meet, right? It's like we're both lunatics, and that there's this moment even when the Joker looks at him and he says, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" Which is the classic line he gives as he kills his parents, right? But even that moment in the movie when Michael Keaton has this like, "What'd he say?" moment, and then it's like in that scene in the movie, their minds click and they make sense and they totally understand each other better than anybody will ever understand either one of them. And I love that scene in that movie. Is so awesome. It's so iconic, and it just solidifies this weird, messed up relationship that the Joker and Batman have. So I give so much props to that.
Yes.
Totally.
Completely.
Yeah.
So that's number one, obviously.
That's totally my number one. That movie is so good in so many ways. Man, if I had to say a number two, for nostalgic reasons, I really might have to say Adam West movie.
Okay.
I really actually enjoy that. I've seen that Batman movie more than any other Batman movie.
I kept the Adam West out of it because it was the TV series, even though that was the movie, but
Yeah.
I kept that one out of it.
It is the movie. It's Batman the movie.
I know. But it is still clearly the TV series. It's just
It
another
is.
it's just
It
another
totally
episode. It's just a longer episode of the
Yeah, and I think we established it's Christopher Nolan that did those movies. I don't think those movies are good. I'm not a big fan of those movies at all. There's so many scenes in those movies where even the Michael Keaton, even the Tim Burton, which I want to acknowledge as the Frank Miller of the movie scene. Like Frank Miller brought the Dark Knight back, right? Mm-hmm. I think Tim Burton brought the Dark Knight back as far as live action. He made him dark and ominous again. He's somebody you want to enjoy watching but never be, right? Yeah. Like everybody wants to be Superman. I want all the powers in the world and save the day all the time. Nobody wants to be Batman.
I want to
be miserable.
Sorry.
Right.
Just,
yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah. I'm going to be Vegeta and be pissed at you all the time.
That's fine. I'll always be better.
Yeah, it's true. So I do want to give a lot of recognition to Tim Burton for what he did, right? And as far as that movie goes, I also give a lot of acknowledgement to Michael Keaton because when that third movie came along, Michael Keaton was originally supposed to be in that movie. And the director for that movie approached Michael Keaton and said, I want to do something different. I don't understand why Batman has to be so dark and broody all the time. The instant he said that, Michael Keaton said, I'm out.
Yep.
And he wasn't Batman.
I remember that.
And I give so much appreciation for that mentality, understanding what Batman is, right? I don't like Christopher Nolan ones. There's so many scenes in those movies where Batman is like in a subway, every light on the subway in the subway station is on. It's not dark at all, but he still finds some stupid reason to be crouched on a handrail that goes down the stairs in his little Batman voice and talk to whoever the reporter person is. It's like, at least be in the shadows or something, right? In that movie, every moment he should
knock a
all
couple
three of
lights
them
out.
Something, right? battering, right? Like something. But in every single movie of those trilogies, whenever he's like having this impactful moment with somebody, like Commissioner Gordon or whoever the chicks are, he's always right under a streetlight. It drives me nuts. I hate it. That's not who Batman should be. It should be the weird bat voice from the shadows. And he's not that. It ruins Batman for me. It does.
For the action scenes, though, I do like that Batman the best.
There are some cool action scenes, yes.
And I do like the whole covering the going into the League of Shadows and training that way part of it.
I do think
I
the
love
first
the fact
one
that they do that they cover that.
Yeah.
The fact that they focused on that the whole time through the remainder of all the movies bugged me.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that was just a reoccurrence thing the whole time. But I gotta say, for the Batman himself, as Batman, I gotta go that way. I think he's my favorite
Really?
Batman.
Christian Bale?
Is my favorite Batman.
Really? He's got such a distinct upper lip. The cowl doesn't hide it.
I know. That's not the thing, though. I mean, just the way it was shot, the tone of the movies. I like that. I really like that Batman. I hate his Bruce Wayne. He's like the bottom of the list Bruce Wayne. I hate it even more than the Val Kilmer one, and I don't like the Val Kilmer Bruce Wayne.
That's funny because he appeals more to me as a Bruce Wayne than he does Batman. It's like totally opposite. Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting my Batman mixed up with this because of some of the things that are being done. But I want to say the Val Kilmer is the one with the extending suit and the
maybe
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and he gets to fight Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. No, that's George Clooney.
Is that the George Clooney?
George Clooney is Arnold Schwarzenegger and Poison Ivy. Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
And Val Kilmer is
The Riddler.
Jim Carrey, Riddler, and
Okay.
what's his face as Two-Face. Like that? What's his face? Two-Face?
Yeah.
It was the guy in Men in Black and No Country for Old Men.
I always forget his name.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee
I
Jones.
totally forgot about him. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
plays Two-Face.
Yeah.
Okay, but so it's definitely the Kilmer one.
Oh, Two-Face. One of my favorite villains. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to get
He's
into
such
it.
a war of himself.
Are we
which
going
is
to
why
do
I
a
was never
two-part
appealed.
episode?
Right? I know, we're running way long.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to. There's
Whatever.
no way.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's our show. God damn it. What do you think,
But,
Josh? Who's your favorite? Sorry, were you not done?
Oh, well, I was just gonna finish out. So I'm gonna say Christian Bale number 1, Michael Keaton 2 on that one. Very, very thin line between
Yes.
which one's number 1 on that.
I'm really surprised that you prefer the Christian Bale Batman over the Michael Keaton.
I don't know. I do. I just do. I definitely have Michael Keaton as my number 1 Bruce Wayne just because it's so iconic.
Yeah.
For what
Well,
it is.
I think the Christian Bale one is like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember the voice being so significant in the Michael Keaton stuff.
No.
Like it was kind of the
not.
same sort of thing, right? Like he had that moment where he holds the guy over the ledge. He's like, "Who are you?"
Who are you?
Yeah. But it's not as obviously
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Well, then, to be fair with the Christian Bale one, they were like way digitally enhancing it.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Christian Bale, Keaton, Affleck, because I really do like the Affleck suit, and I want to give him more credit than what he got, because that was a crappily written movie.
Oh, terribly. And
Awful.
I think he did a good job.
What we saw was really good.
I think that Ben Affleck is one of the best things that exists right now in the DCU. Like, it just does, right?
Yeah. And then I say then Kilmer and then Clooney
Okay.
for the Batman, and then for the Bruce Waynes, obviously Keaton, Affleck. I really like the Affleck Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, what? Yeah, I think he totally does. I mean, like, his corporation, his people were getting hammered. He's gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, dude, these are my people. These are my workers. It's hard to replace good workers.
Yes.
Of course I'm gonna be pissed. You know, so I mean, I totally see that part of it. I'm gonna say Clooney as number 3.
Yeah.
I kind of liked his Bruce Wayne more.
And that movie has such a light. I almost think that movie with Clooney, because that's the one with Robin too, where they like banter over who Poison Ivy really loves, and it has Arnold in it, and it's got the nipple suits, and like I think that movie is such a departure from what Tim Burton did. It's almost this throwback to that Adam West series.
Yeah.
It has that like it might as well have said Pow and Biff and Bam with Batmobile, like right.
Exactly.
Like, it totally went back to
Yeah.
that like super neon kind of feel.
It did.
Yeah.
Holy rested Benno Batman.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Right. Like even that blatant line in that movie, it's like it totally started to bring all that together.
Yeah. I say then I'm gonna say Kilmer and Bale. I hate Bale.
Bale is your last.
I hate Bale's Bruce Wayne. Oh my god, I hate that Bruce Wayne.
I did the one scene where Christian Bale plays Bruce Wayne that I did like is when he has to clear out his house and he has to act like the spoiled rich boy and like and pull that off. And he acts all drunk and starts insulting everybody in his party. You
That
remember
was
that
cool.
scene? I do like that
was cool.
scene. I do give him credit for because I always enjoy it in the comic books when Bruce Wayne has to do things to make it obvious that he's not Batman. And there's even like in the War of Jokes and Riddles, there's this really awesome part where he sits down. The War of Jokes and Riddles is all about the Riddler versus Joker, clearly, right?
Yep.
And Bruce Wayne actually has a meeting with them where they sit down at the table and they go through these different courses. The whole comic is dealing with like a 10-course meal or something. And they sit down and each course they get more and more intense with their conversation about this war between them. And so Bruce Wayne really has to sell the point that he's not on Batman's side. And so he says some horrible, terrible things about Batman during this 3-course meal. And the whole time, like, Alfred's coming in and like, the next course, gentlemen, is like, while they're just at each other's throats. They're over this table. So that comic in particular in that series, I really loved. But I love how much Bruce Wayne is against Batman and has to do the opposite to defend it, right? Just knock him down.
Yeah.
So that constant battle he's facing between I'm Bruce Wayne, I have all this money, I can do all these really positive charitable things to save Gotham, but at the same time I also have to be Batman and do all this stuff at night, right? Like I love that paradox that he's constantly dealing with. Like he must get like a half hour of sleep every night.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
he never does sleep, right? He's just doped up all the time. He's got to be that dope. What do you think, Josh? Did we get to you? Your favorite stuff?
Not
Forgot,
yet.
I talked way too much.
You talk about my order of
Your
actors.
favorites? Yes.
Batman with Christopher. What's his name?
Nolan?
No, not Nolan.
Bale?
Yeah, Christian Bale. I like him. I like his acting as Batman, but I hate his voice. It's so off-putting to me. I put Keaton over him. Just on that merit because it's so annoying to me, so cheesy.
Yeah.
So I would go Keaton, Christian Bale. I don't know. I'd probably pick Clooney over the Iceman, but
Over Kilmer?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, Kilmer brought back the super stiff suit too.
Again with the Batman neck?
Yeah.
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 But he got rid of the nipples.
He got rid of the nipples.
I feel like Clooney requested the nipples.
Yeah, maybe.
They had to have been.
I
What that
totally-
needs? Nipples.
I think the only reason nipples were in that is because of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Somebody thought that was hilarious, and so they put those in the scene.
I wonder if they actually
It made it
fit
to production.
over his nipples.
Yeah, like there was somebody that went in
Yeah,
like, where's
instead
your
of just
nipple?
like they're put on. No, it's like no, or maybe he was nipping so hard.
Yeah,
that
right?
he was-
Yes, I like that.
When they
That's
made the
what he's
cast,
getting at. Did you
he's like,
see
hold
that?
on, let me get it ready.
Or it's like he was preparing to nip because he's like, I'm gonna fight Mr. Freeze, so I'm gonna make extra room
Tidbit
just
nipply.
in case. Yeah, bat nip.
He's got like movie grips with ice cubes.
Oh
Like,
my god.
Oh my god.
Like some cheese nips.
can I get you another bat cube?
Sharpens his batarangs on him.
Yeah. Sharpens everything on him. Yeah.
That was the secret Batman glass cutter that we never saw.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm glad you did the motion before I did.
I just love.
Stupid.
I love the idea of the people that are being held up that he's going to save while his hands are on the glass. And it's just, Batman's here. What is he?
coming.
What is he doing?
It's hard to do that.
Terrible.
Had to be
Terrible.
something.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It was either that or there's going to be some like fembot guns pop out of them puppies. Just
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They're gas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep gas.
Bat gas.
It would have been perfect, right? Everybody goes to sleep. Oh, Jesus.
What do you think, Jack? Who's your favorite live action Batman and Bruce Wayne? Oh my God! If it
I
says
think you
Christian
know who
Bale,
it
I'm gonna
is.
smack him in the face.
It's Christian Bale. I like Christian Bale. I thought he did a really good job. I love the voice. Like, that's a scary voice, right?
And it's iconic now. Like he will
Yeah.
forever have that voice now. Totally
Yeah.
will.
But it's like some guy pulls you up. He's like, "Where are the drugs going?" Or "Where are the drugs going?" You're like, "Oh God."
Well, I like Affleck's. Well, I didn't fit. I forgot Affleck too. I would put him above Clooney.
I don't know.
Certainly.
Affleck doesn't have that much. At least in the movie, I never felt like he had a menacing voice.
But he's got a chin.
Yeah,
That's
the
true. He
chin
does have
was
a
menacing
super chin.
when he's like in the
got a
corner
fat chin.
of the room or on the ceiling. That was menacing. The way he acts is like it's terrifying, but his
And
voice is like
was his fight scenes not freaking awesome?
They were awesome.
they were, but the voice, I don't know. I mean, maybe there could be a better way, but like a voice that just kind of shocks you and like makes you a little unsettled. I think that's what Batman's about.
I think the other thing that for me, as far as Ben Affleck, there is that really iconic scene in that movie, the BVS, where it's from that Frank Miller comic where he's like up on the wall and he's in the shadows and like the light comes over him. That's how Batman should be.
Yes.
It should always be something that when you notice him, it's too late.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you finally see Batman, it's right before he knocks your lights out. Right? Like it should not. That was my biggest gripe with those Nolan movies. Is that he's just there all the time. It's like, dude, hide a little more.
Okay, that's a good point, I guess. But I mean, I think that goes back to the thing I said, about like 10 hours ago when this podcast started. About,
This is part 2, Jack.
How Batman's
that was
really,
like 10 minutes, man.
Yeah.
how Batman's really versatile, right? Like he can be done in a very, stealthy way, or he can be done in this like Christian Bale, I don't know, just kind of a...
Well, I think it adds to the myth of Batman, because Batman is kind of this myth to the people, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's this... We've all heard of the Batman, but nobody ever gets to see him, and it's like he's just there. It's like he's gone, and like it adds to that mystery of Batman, which I think is...
he's like there, but then like they look back, and then he's retreated into the shadows. I like that more. So you're like, did I even talk to him? Was I just talking to myself?
I hate it when he does that. He always does that.
Yeah, right? I also think as actors, you have to give a lot of credit to Kevin Conroy, because when you hear Batman, like the animated series, the games,
totally.
like that's the voice.
I think
you only want that
he
voice.
might actually be my favorite voice.
As far as voice goes,
Yeah.
like as far as the like Batman and like the voice, it's Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody has ever can touch how good he's done that. And I think
That's why he's a voice actor.
right, totally. but he is the standard for Batman. At least as far as I'm concerned, that is the Batman voice. The other one that I think we have
What about
to
Mark
acknowledge,
Hamill Joker?
I was just gonna say yes,
Yeah.
he is, as far as just the voice of the Joker, gold standard.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
no argument
Totally.
with that.
I
He
love
totally
it.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
we only got a few more. It's only another couple hours. What about let's move into the world out of movies, and let's go into TV shows,
Okay.
because there's been several Batman TV shows, or at least within the Batman universe, animated, live action, whatever it is. Do you guys have a favorite?
I like Gotham.
Gotham. I think Gotham's really good.
like Gotham.
Yeah.
It's a little slower. It's hard to get into, but I know that when I do, I'll love it.
It is slow and it is hard to get into, and if you get
So
out of it, it's hard to
cheesy.
get back into it a little bit.
How far are you guys in Gotham?
I've finished season 3.
Okay.
Only a few.
Is season
episodes
3?
in.
Season 3 is the one where Penguin becomes mayor and all that.
He becomes
Make
all that,
Gotham
and you deal with
great
the
again.
doctor, the crazy doctor, and Fish Mooney's back. Is that season 3?
That was
Yes.
season
Yeah.
1 with the crazy doctor. They like cut her eye out.
She like plucks it out,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that
And
like
then
season 3 though?
That's season 1 , and the doctor. That's the
No,
doll
that's
maker.
not season
It's
1.
the guy. Yeah, it's the
He's
guy
so
that
full
cuts
of bat
Joker's
poop.
face off. Nah, dude. It's called guano or something. That's bat poop, idiot. Bat guano. No, but that was like season 1, or maybe he comes back. But Fish Mooney comes back, or she's revived in season 2. She's back in Gotham in season 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but season 3 is the rise of the villains, which I think that's what the season's called, and that is the one
Yeah.
with the doctor. I forget his name, but he like brings Mr. Freeze back, and like has all the people in his basement that he's like bringing back.
No,
right?
well that's
season 3. And they like
oh.
break away off the island. Isn't that what it is?
Oh wow, thanks for spoiling. No, just kidding. I mean, I assumed. I don't know. Like some of the villains, I'm just like, I really want them to do more with that guy that might be Joker, the Bane stuff. They alluded to Bane in the first season, and the Scarecrow guy. No mention of him whatsoever.
Yeah,
He'll be back.
Yeah,
and they do
well,
start to
I
come
hope
back.
So.
I think season 4 is such a huge pickup for Gotham.
See, I didn't get to
Good.
season 4 in time.
Yeah,
I'm like 3 episodes behind now, and it's like,
season 4 is where like Bruce, like he has his first moment of standing on the edge of a building, like in a like a suit pretty much. He doesn't have
No,
like he's
that's
not
too
Batman.
soon.
It's not Batman's suit at all. But it's the
I think
first
they're rushing
time
it. He's like 12.
it's actually done pretty well because he's really bad at it. And so it's cool to watch him be bad at it and like learn from all his mistakes.
Okay.
And the suit is not the only part of the suit that you would associate with being Batman is about this much, just right around the eyes. The rest of it is not Batman at all.
For me, it's too soon. I wish they would like have the show. I don't know, like for him to already be fighting crime in Gotham. Like what?
And he's bad at it. That's the cool part, though.
The current theory is though that it's not Batman.
That Bruce is not Batman?
No, the current theory right now is that it's the alternate universe where he becomes Owlman.
What?
Oh,
That'd be weird.
well, I mean,
That'd be too bad because there's so much other. There's so many characters like the Riddler. Riddler's awesome in that series. Penguin's kind of annoying. He's starting to drag a little bit. Catwoman, I think, is really cool. It's cool to watch.
Catwoman is one of my favorite in the show. I mean, she's freaking
and it's
awesome.
cool to watch her go from kid to like woman now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like really, what she's doing is mattering. Again, Riddler's really good. This new season deals with some Solomon Grundy stuff, which is actually kind of cool.
Oh, really?
nice. Okay,
So that
Nice.
starts to come in,
that
and the
was fun
Batman
in Arkham City.
and Alfred. I think Alfred is really awesome in this. Where
Alfred, he's badass. I love
It's
him.
cool how
He's my
how
favorite
relevant
Alfred.
he is, right? Instead of just such a background character.
Instead of just, oi, Bruce, I'm gonna leave you now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the rock guy from Thor.
Yeah.
Basically, Alfred. Same thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, and the animated series. I really have to give a big shout out.
Which
to
I just
that
saw
animated
yesterday.
series. And it was amazing.
Freaking awesome.
Yesterday, as
God.
far as whenever
Late
that
birthday
actually was.
present.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good though.
To yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I bought Gran Turismo GT for Sport for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
That was my birthday present to
Did
myself.
you get a wheel yet, or what?
No.
You're not
but,
playing it until you get a wheel, are you?
But they brought back like realistic, like or decent controls for the paddle.
Yeah.
You can actually like be competitive in this game with a controller now versus not having a wheel. I don't know what they did, but I don't have the need of just like screw this game, screw everything, I'm not touching it, and like rage quitting on everything because I don't have a wheel, and I'm not gonna drop the $800 on the wheel that I want.
First world problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
That which is an awesome
and VR.
segue because I want to get into Batman games. Before we
Yes.
do that, is there a Batman TV show that you're just balls out nuts about?
Just the OG cartoon, I think. You know,
the '90s.
Yeah.
That cartoon
Kinda
is
grew
so
up
good.
watching that. I haven't gotten into Gotham yet at all because I'm kind of one of those guys that has to binge watch. Like,
Do you have Hulu?
you know,
There's a lot
No,
of it
kids.
out now.
Or Netflix? Netflix, I think, has.
I think it's on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I have
there's
a Cody.
3 seasons now. So
There's a lot of Gotham to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you
I've been
can
told it's
binge.
really good. I just haven't gotten into it. So
Gordon's also.
It's-
I feel like I'm
It's
so
pretty
late to the
good.
game where, like, I might be able to
Gordon-
wait until it's over and then watch the whole thing.
Gordon has
That's what I
spurts
did
where
with
he's,
Smallville.
That's what I
Good
did
in
with
this and then
Breaking
just-
Bad. I was like,
you know,
How do you feel about Gordon?
Gordon, he's got like spurts where he's like really good, and then it's like, God, really,
Yep.
just get over yourself
Yeah.
already. No, still, next episode, get over yourself. Next episode, seriously, get over yourself.
I keep looking at it from the perspective of once Batman's there, this Gordon that we've grown with in the Gotham series has so many things to relate to as a vigilante that once that moment happens, it makes sense. Because I've always thought that was a weird relationship that they had. Like, why is Gordon just okay with this guy, going against
Well,
the
he's
law
never
and doing
okay
all
at the
that?
beginning. It's when he figures out that, Batman is not, a total bad guy, and, like, they can work together even though Batman does stuff differently.
Yeah, but what about when
Yeah.
he finds out that his daughter's the Oracle, and
Oh, well, that's
Gordon's
that's
not
different.
okay with that.
Yeah, well, then he doesn't like that, and he's not fine with it again.
Yeah, see,
Like in Arkham Knight.
But I think it bridges the gap. It helps them kind of have something to relate to.
Yeah.
With Gotham. Gotham does a good job about that. It makes a lot of the stuff relatable. I think maybe that's a
Okay.
good word for that series. So our final one, and then really we're going to wrap it up seriously.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Batman video games? Jack might care the most.
I-
Because he will not shut up about it this whole time.
I think the Batman games are awesome. Arkham Asylum was, I think, one of my first. Well, I think my first superhero game was my first PS3 game. That was Infamous, and it was a radical introduction into the games. I don't know if they make any other really superhero games, but Batman Arkham games are like, along with Infamous, are the gold standard of superhero games, and I really hope they do improve in the future. Each game tries to add something new. Like Batman Arkham Asylum was a really kind of more personal with the map. Like you really got to know Arkham Asylum through the ins and outs. You could just kind of navigate. You're like, oh, I need to go here. I know how to get there now, right? Arkham City was kind of like, it changed it, but it was cool because it was like you're exploring this cool new, like, I shouldn't say mythological, but like canonically, like it makes sense, and it's a really cool place, and you want to know why it's there. You want to explore all of it and all the different districts and everything. It sucks that there weren't as many villains in the game. I felt like, I don't know, if they had more time, they could have put in some other people. And then Arkham Origins was okay. Arkham Knight, though, I really liked because, no, I don't know. Actually, the more I think about it, I'm mixed, but I like it. I really like the Joker. I like the amount of villains and how they would still, like, as the night, of course it's in one night, as the night goes on, everything changes. Like, you get all beat up and everything, and,
It does have that really cool, like, internal struggle with the Joker that's in him during that whole game.
And I like the villains and how you feel like this is just the regular city. We aren't dealing with, like, you know, Arkham City. We're dealing with, like, Gotham. Like, all this stuff needs to be solved because when the people come back and if all this is still going on, like that guy that's cutting people up and hanging them up, that's going to cause, like, pandemonium and chaos. And you feel, like, super stressed out like you're Batman and you need to solve all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Out of the games, out of those ones, those trilogy specifically, I actually liked Asylum the best.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat.
I need to
more
replay
personal, I think.
It's more personal. It felt almost linear.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. I like following a story rather than trying to create it myself.
It was way more story driven, for sure. Yeah.
The last boss was but it was a really good game. Yeah.
It was more, and it was more like, because again, you're in this smaller, more intimate environment. To me, it felt more of that, like, detective kind of Batman, where, like, you're more in this one area trying to solve this crime that kind of goes through everything. The other ones get a little bit outside of themselves. Bit. They start to get, they're just big, and you deal with these little insignificant stuff going on. Where the other one is all these things that are happening. None of it's insignificant because it's all adding up to this bigger story that's going on within a smaller environment.
That is actually a really good point. Because you're so caged in, even when Victor Zsasz has, like, one guard hostage, you feel it's a tense part of the game, right? Yeah. Okay.
So I actually,
I'll have to replay.
think that's
I'll
a really
probably
good
buy
one.
the remaster on my birthday.
There you go. Do you have any Batman video game experience, Josh?
Just from Super Nintendo. I haven't.
That's
Oh,
fine.
classic.
Is it Batman Returns?
Um,
I think that was maybe Super Nintendo.
I don't remember, but you can play as Robin or Batman, and, like, I just remember. I never beat that game, so I'd like to go back and do it. Maybe I can get that.
Oh, I got some emulators.
SNES
We'll
or
break them
something
out.
like that. Yeah. I really enjoyed that. I remember you could actually, like, turn into, like, this big metal, almost like a casket with his cape.
Really?
Yeah, to protect yourself and stuff. So there was all different skills and things you could apply. So
I played a lot of the Batman Returns one where it totally based on the Tim Burton movie. And the dreaded, like, a lot of those, like, Super Nintendo or Nintendo games would have, it's a street brawler, like a Streets of Rage, where you just go through the different levels taking out bad guys. But they always had the classic dudes on the motorcycles that would, like, pop wheelies and ride through and just annihilate you. No matter what you did, you had to, like, jump and attack at the perfect time. That's what I remember being pissed off about that.
yeah.
Yeah, always throwing my Super Nintendo. Screw this game. I don't want to be Batman. I hate Batman. Worst hero ever. But,
Probably been 20 years since I played a Batman game. So.
Well, the Arkham Asylum, which I think you can get, that's not console specific. You can get that on anything. I totally worth investing in if you ever feel like diving into a Batman series. Mm-hmm. I also think Injustice needs a nod. I think Injustice is
really good fighting game.
And I think
Batman centric.
Batman he's like the Ryu of that game. Like, he's the one. For me, he was like you get to use his cool gadgets. He's like quick and tactical. Like, his moves are really fast, but they do a lot of damage in the game. It's like, I think it does a pretty good representation of that.
I really liked Aquaman in that game.
Oh yeah,
and I hate Aquaman overall, but I really liked him in that game because he had a real good balance between power and speed. I mean, he was pretty powerful when he hit, but he had a decent speed to him, but he had range.
Yeah, totally did have more range.
He had lots of range.
Except for the batarangs, right?
Just wait for Justice League Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. The more I played Injustice 1 and looking at Injustice 2, all the fighters seem like reskins of each other, almost. Like the Flash, like they're only cool specific moves where they're special moves, except for like Batman. All of his moves were like total Batman moves, but a lot of them felt like so, just like almost dumbed down. Like they were just like, same move for this guy, but his special attack will be like, is Trident or whatever.
The one thing about the Injustice Batman that I really liked a lot is he had the stiff movements like the Tim Burton. You watching, he's got that. Like when he moves, it's like a whole shoulder head turn. Like when he does the whip around thing, I don't know. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for 2. I'm gonna crack out and play Flash and Atrocitus.
I hated playing the Flash. Dude, it's like, I'm gonna hit you.
And Turtles. Turtles are coming.
600 more times.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe another 600 times. Oh, your life only went down this far? Okay, another 600 times. Oh, you hit me once, I'm dead. Oh.
That's what the Flash is, though. That's what makes him awesome.
I agree.
Speedy, like, yeah.
I know, but it was so annoying. That said, I'm the guy that plays as the fast characters for Tekken. Huh. Like Lin Xiaoyu.
Yeah.
I always played as Lin Xiaoyu and whipped rear.
That's that same kind of thing, though, where it's like little slivers.
Yeah, but I learned her combos where you could just rip through somebody really fast.
Yeah. They're best DC fighting game ever is totally Injustice.
Yes.
Totally is.
And the second one looks like it improves on everything. I'll talk about it. Probably, I don't know if we'll do a podcast next week. I may be busy, unless we do it on Friday or whatever.
We'll talk about it. Just say we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
And the last game that I do want to give note to, because I think it is one of the best and one of the first ones to really do it right, is Lego Batman. The Lego Batman game, I think, is such a solid game. If you're a fan of Legos, it's awesome. This car right here that's on the table is piece for piece in the Batman Lego game. It's the exact same car. It's really, really cool to be able to... I remember when I bought that set, and as I was putting it together, I was actually reliving some old Lego games, and it was so cool. It's the exact same car.
Nice.
So there's so many things in those games that are that way, that translate over to the actual real-life Lego sets. And so it's pretty cool. There's so many little... Like, if you've grown up with Batman, there's so many little things that... And there are throwbacks to all that stuff that you grew up with. The Adam West Batman, the comic book Batmans, all the blue and gray suit, like I said, the black suit, the Tim Burton Batman, the Frank Miller, like all that stuff is in that Lego game. It's kind of cool the way it's all just come together. And it's like just little snippets of all that stuff, but it's all there.
Nice.
So it's worth checking out also. And it's dirt cheap. Dirt cheap.
The Lego games are the ones that I've talked to quite a few people who say they're really great to play with their kids.
Oh, for sure.
It's a game that I'm an adult, but I can play it with my kids and be happy doing it and have fun doing it.
And you can couch play it, which is cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
the new Batman.
Eric specifically is the one that was like really raving about it. So.
Yeah. The third one, not as cool, which is the PS4 one. But Lego Batman 1 and 2, I think, are really awesome. They're very similar to the Avengers games, where it's just a big city that you get to play in. The new one for the PS4 is very kind of hub world, which is kind of takes away from exploring Gotham
I think that's
City.
what they're doing with the new, either it's Avengers or Marvel Heroes one. It's like you explore different worlds across space and time.
I'm not such a fan of that. I wish it was just one big map. So if I want, like in the Lego game, it's cool when you, like if you pick, you get to be all these different DC heroes. But if you pick Superman, you can jump twice and fly, and immediately goes into
the theme,
like that classic old theme, like starts playing, right? And as you fly, and same with Batman. When you become Batman and do the action stuff, it switches to all that old classic, like the Tim Burton theme or whatever. It's like all that music is in there, and all the things that you would care about as a fan that's been enjoying Batman until that game come out. And then your kid will love it because it's like goofy and Lego, right?
Yeah.
I totally get why playing a game with your kids, that's totally right up your alley. Yeah. Do you guys think we talked enough about Batman?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I gotta get going.
I think I'm Batmaned out now.
Batman
All right.
So those are some thoughts on Batman. If we missed something, which there's so much to talk about, I'm sure we did. But please tell us about it if we did. We'd love to bring it up on a later show. You can email us at nerdbuzzed@nerdbuzzed.com. Find us on Twitter @nerdbuzzed. Find us on Facebook, Nerdbuzzed again. Everything's Nerdbuzzed. You can go to our website.
We're Nerdbuzzed.
Yeah, very getting Nerdbuzzed. You can go to our website, nerdbuzzed.com, watch all the episodes, comment, like, subscribe there. It really does make a difference to us. On that note, do we want to review the beer?
Yeah, we gotta review the beer.
Yeah, getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
trying to get Josh out of here. He's going to go sleep on my couch again.
So what do you think?
It's working. I'll say that. I think it's pretty good. A little bit of a mouth linger in there, but really not bad at all. I think overall, I'm very impressed with this because I really kind of went into it without expecting a lot, and it's pretty good.
Well, it sweetens up a little bit as it goes on, but it retains that good roasty flavor. It stays balanced. Mouthfeel comes up a little heavier as it goes along, which I like that a little bit. But it's just got that really good balanced roasty flavor, and it's got a little bit of sweet, but just enough. It stays really good. I'm amazed I'm not hearing you talk about the yeasty because I'm getting a little bit of that a little bit. Not the mouthfeel part of it, but the flavor of yeast.
Yeah. It has less of the mouthfeel.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
There's
about.
less yeast farts going on in my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that was what you're saying.
It's got to be the worst fart in the world is a yeasty fart, right? It's
Okay,
terrible.
if that's what you say.
That thing reeks.
It's infectious.
Right? Totally. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Need some Batbiotics for that.
It probably exists in the Bat world.
It's in his belt, right?
Yeah,
He's got those, right?
So what do you think, Josh?
Makes out with Catwoman and pops a Batbiotic real quick.
I really liked it. Looking at this, I'd call it great. I think it's an 8 for me.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome.
I really think it's. I love the
resin,
coffee aftertaste, the roasty flavor. This is a beer that I would enjoy frequently. If
Goes in your beer fridge.
Yeah, it definitely.
Definitely.
Well, good news. Stop by your local grocery outlet. It's about $3.
Okay.
That's a steal.
Right.
That's
At
totally a
grocery
steal.
outlet, they sell
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Oh, grocery outlet. Totally the place to. But it really is the place to go and look at their beer selection there because you can get it for dirt cheap. And when you see something you might like, get it because it won't be there the next day.
Yeah.
So
Good
everything
stuff.
at grocery outlet is. But
Yeah.
I've learned to not discriminate and go ahead and get the beer from there.
How would you guys score it?
I'm giving it an 8 as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. Man, you guys are twisting my arm. I'm gonna go ahead and
You can have
follow
your own
along with
identity.
you.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna follow along with you. We all love Batman. I'm gonna say this is Bat great. I'm gonna give it a Bat 8.
All right.
So one last time, to all the nerds,
All right.
through all the fuzz, bottoms up.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Scared me there. I was Bat scared.
Talking about beer, talking about nerd culture.
Thanks for joining us, Josh.
Marcus and Jeremiah,
Go sleep on the couch again now. Pass out.
you're on Nerdbuzzed.
Right? He's never gonna stop.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
See you next time.